The lunch crowd inside Riverside Diner was loud, bright, and full of the usual weekday chaos, but in the middle of it all, one moment sliced the air like a blade. A tall teenage girl in designer clothes leaned across the counter, twisted her face with disgust, and spat directly onto the cheek of the young waitress standing before her. Conversations halted, forks froze in mid-air. The room quieted with a shock that felt like the air had been vacuumed out. But the girl didn't notice the 50 leather-clad bikers sitting at the back, silently watching every movement with cold, simmering eyes, as the waitress swallowed her humiliation and tried to keep working. It was a moment no one inside the diner would ever forget, especially because the girl had no idea who she had just disrespected in front of. If you believe kindness and second chances still matter in this world, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support helps these real-feeling stories reach more hearts. The waitress's name was Marina Hale, a 22-year-old who carried herself with a tired but gentle grace, the kind that forms only after a person learns how to survive storms with quiet dignity. She had been working double shifts for months to pay for her mother's medical treatments, often going home late at night with aching feet and swollen eyes. Despite the exhaustion, she always greeted every customer with warmth. People came back not for Riverside Diner's pancakes or sunny decor, but because Marina made the place feel like home. That was why the disrespect cut so deeply, not just to Marina but to everyone familiar with her gentle nature. The teen girl, Kaylee Mercer, had grown up with everything money could offer. Luxury cars at 16, private schools, house staff who followed her like shadows. She had never worked a day in her life, never had to earn kindness or patience. Today she was angry because her avocado toast had arrived without the extra seasoning she demanded. Rather than asking politely, her frustration snapped into cruelty. The entire room saw it, but the only ones who didn't flinch were the massive men in black vests marked with the emblem of the Hells Angels. They had been quiet, eating breakfast after a charity ride to raise money for a children's hospital. To them, respect was sacred, kindness was law, and cruelty toward the helpless was an unforgivable sin. The bikers continued stopping by after their charity rides, each time greeting Marina like family, ensuring no one disrespected her again. They grew fond of the waitress who treated everyone with the same genuine warmth, regardless of how they looked. They also kept a distant but watchful eye on Kaylee, protective of Marina but quietly hopeful that the girl really was changing. Weeks passed, and Kaylee bloomed into a completely different person. She learned to serve food, clean tables, and even handle rude customers with surprising patience in those hours spent working alongside Marina. She discovered a world outside her own privilege, a world where people earned their smiles, fought through their days, and cherished small moments of kindness. One afternoon, Marina's mother was rushed to the hospital. Marina received the call mid-shift and nearly dropped to her knees from fear. Kaylee saw her distress and immediately took charge, calling Garrick and the other bikers. Within minutes they arrived, filling the diner like a protective army. They covered Marina's shift without hesitation. Yes, 50 leather-clad bikers served coffee, flipped pancakes, and washed dishes while Marina rushed to the hospital. The sight of them working behind the counter became a legendary story in town. Kaylee rode with Marina in the ambulance, squeezing her hand the entire time. When they reached the hospital, she stayed by her side for hours, comforting her through tears and fear. Garrick and the others waited in the lobby, ready to offer support however they could. Thankfully, Marina's mother stabilized after urgent treatment. The relief that washed through Marina was so overwhelming she cried into Kaylee's arms, and Kaylee held her like a sister. Later that night, Marina told Kaylee something that broke the last piece of hardness inside her. She said that kindness doesn't just heal the person receiving it, it heals the one giving it too. From that moment on, Kaylee vowed to live differently, and she did. Weeks later, Riverside Diner celebrated Marina's promotion to assistant manager, a moment the entire community attended. Kaylee stood proudly beside her, having become like family, her arrogant past long behind her. Garrick toasted her transformation, telling her she had earned the respect of the toughest men around, not through fear, but through kindness, humility, and courage. As Marina looked around that crowded room, at the bikers who protected her, the girl who had changed, the customers who loved her, she realized that life had given her more than hardship. It had given her a community built from unexpected connections and brave second chances. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your love helps these emotional stories reach more souls. Before you go, please leave a comment telling which moment moved you the most. Your words mean the world.